shit. So that's pretty much where it was at. And, I didn't get to the point where I was like, I didn't even think about it because I was just dying the whole fucking time.
You said you didn't even think about your actual porn name.
No, not until I got off because I was just cracking up. Like it was one of those long ones, bro, where everybody just was just
So you
answering.
so wait, you were reading all these names, but you weren't thinking about your own porn name. Is that what I'm getting at here? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, because there was so many different people saying, "No, that's not how you do it. You do it this way and that way." And then I seen the consensus, and I was reading a lot of them. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious." So I didn't register for me to do mine until I actually stopped and thought about it for a minute because there was so many people coming in on the comment section.
Okay, so wait, based on your criteria, right? Okay, so you said it was the pet you had the longest,
Right.
and the pet you had the longest, and what was the other criteria? The street you lived on the longest.
Yeah. So pretty much your childhood shit.
So what
What
what's
was
your
your what
what's your
was your
name? What's your no, hold on. You started the story. You start. What's the
bro?
name? What's yours? I'll
Okay,
give you
bro.
mine.
This is crazy, but it was kind of when I posted it, I got a lot of love out of this shit. They were dying because a lot of people knew who it was. So mine came out. We had a cat, and his name was Kidder, and I lived on Carney, so my name was Kidder Carney and
Kidder
shit.
Cardi.
Starring Kidder Carney.
It sounds honestly it sounds like a cool street name more than a porn name. You know what I mean?
I
Like, oh,
don't.
that's Kidder Carney, man. That's
That's Kidder
Kidder.
Carney, like I'm an action star or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shit.
Coming to a theater near you, Kidder Carney takes the stage.
Taking backdoor six starring Kidder Carney and shit. We
Oh
were in
man.
there rolling, bro. It was so hilarious. You got to try it one day because it was so comical. It had me,
Oh,
you know how short shit is. Had me amused for like probably 20 minutes.
I'll give you mine then if it's but hey, our guy Melvin come at us and said his name would be Busta Hudgens.
Bust
Busta
Hudgens.
Hudgens. I think that sounds pretty good. That was
Bust the worldwide Hudgens.
I'm a bust you Hudgens, girl. I'm a bust you Hudgens. That sounds good. That sounds like a good one. But mine, a pet. It had to be the pet we had the longest, and the street we lived on the longest. It would probably be. Oh goodness, I've moved around so a lot. It would be Dozer Maple Hollow. That doesn't sound like
What?
anything.
Starring Dozer
Maple
Maple
Hollow.
Hollow?
It just sounds like it's too complex. It wouldn't be a good porn name based on
You would
those
have to
criteria.
shorten it. It would be one of those ones
Dozer Maple or
like
Dozer
Dozer
Hollow.
Hollow. Nah,
Dozer
Dozer Hollow.
Hollow. That sounds. I'm gonna be real. That sounds like it could be a gay porn name, and
Hey, bro, you gotta go.
I guess because of that, I have to own it. That's not my truth.
You gotta go for that. Don't be discriminating, man. We don't discriminate over here. You gotta do gay
You
porn
gotta
if
do.
that's what your name says, bro.
If that's what the
Sorry,
name says, that's it. That's a wrap. That's the only kind
you
of porn
got
you could do.
you gotta do it.
Oh yeah. Although I gotta say, if we're talking real here, Melvin would probably agree. It should be Gingerlicious, right?
I told you that a while.
It should
Remember
have
when I
been
first seen it? I was like, yo,
Gingerlicious.
you should make a brand on that. Maybe sell some crazy like weird sex games or some shit on the
Sex
internet
games.
called
not
Gingerlicious.
even not even like t-shirts or like no a sex game. Like you just make a sex board game.
A pocket puller or some shit.
A
Oh my
ginger.
God, where did
But
that
what was?
conversation
But
go?
why would
That
you
shit
even
went.
call it Gingerlicious? Because like, what would you do? Like put red hair around it? I don't know. Forget it. We're done. We're done talking about.
You gotta market it, bro. You gotta get a test audience and market and get it going.
Yeah, bro. We're
That's all.
we're I'm putting. Okay, we're taking it. We're putting a pin in it for
Yeah, we'll
next time.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll
Later,
get to
later. We'll
that.
talk about it later. What's going on, guys? It's Dev here, Coach B. You know who it be, and we're coming at you again with another Bridging the Gap show. How's everybody doing today? Don't
What's
don't
popping?
don't everybody reply all at once, please. Oh my God, we have so many fans that they're really jumping over themselves.
They'll get to it. They got it's got it. We got to figure out how to get to them, and they'll pick up on it. It's very
Yo,
easy.
Malvin says when I said about Gingerlicious, he said no. He's like, I feel ear raped if I heard that. I feel ear
Like I'm
raped.
not watching this. It would have to be a cool cover of some chicks, bro. Straight up
Yeah, it
for
have to
it
be.
to
We just
work.
get a bunch of
For
good-looking
it,
redhead girls. That's what we would do.
that's all it would
Just
have to
take
be.
me out of the equation, right? There's nothing Gingerlicious about me. So, Coach, what are we getting into today? What are we talking about?
I don't know, all kinds of crazy shit, but we're gonna hop into, where's the shit going? We got Bernie against Trump. We know that's what it's gonna be, so I don't even know why all the other people are even fucking getting in the race and wasting tax, donators' money. But we'll get into that, and then I think we're gonna talk a little bit about Bad Barbie. We're gonna do an update. We're gonna keep up with you because people hate on her so much, but I'm like, whoever's got her in marketing, Brandon, and we talked about that in one of our episodes, is taking her somewhere. So I want to keep it updated on her. And I think what else did I had? I had something else in the mix. Oh, Robert Handicraft finally got his charges this morning, and then they released what they got on him.
Oh, they released it. Okay,
Yeah,
if you
so
got the
I got
list, I
that.
want to hear it. I want to hear what they got. I want to hear
I
the
got
dirt.
the video, bro.
Oh, the video. He's like, I got the video. You were
know
there.
what? Tag that Gingerlicious. Sign Robert Handicraft for your fucking Ford label right there. There you go.
Sign Handy Robbie Kraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
And
talking.
you said something. Hold on. You said, I'm sorry, I forgot that. You
Oh
said
yeah,
something.
yeah.
about
Oral
the-
drug test. I just thought it was interesting just to bring up because I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. I can explain all that shit to you. I know about all that shit, bro.
Yeah, but Trump versus Bernie, Beaker versus what is it? Waldorf.
Waldorf or something.
Waldorf.
Beaker. I'm calling him Beaker Walden or whatever.
Waldorf. I think it's Waldorf.
Waldorf. I'm calling them that from now on. I'm not calling them by their names and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the truth. Well, it's kind of weird. The thing is, I really wanted to Photoshop a picture of Waldorf and shave the mustache because honestly, if you shave the mustache, it's perfect. It really is
Right.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Messy hair, up in the stands, bitching. You know what I mean? So it fits everybody. And Beaker, that's just fucking hilarious, yo. Because nobody knows what Beaker's saying.
Well, no, he talks like him too. Like the voice actor that plays Waldorf, like whenever they're talking in that booth up top, they're like like doing that whole thing. Yeah, like
That's how Bernie is. Remember, know how we talk a lot about things come like people use history to play it out? Did the Muppet and you know how obviously how the people, I don't know if they do it afterwards just to fuck with people of The Simpsons, how they say The Simpsons predict some shit. But if you watch some of the things, they can match it up.
Oh, it's like almost perfect. I'm telling you, Groening, the guy who wrote Simpsons, he is a time traveler. It's just, it's fact at this point. It really is. He's a time traveler.
It's out of there. It's out of the park with that shit, But overall, are we saying that that's what they're saying that will be elected officials is the fucking Muppets?
No, yeah.
One that got the time traveler on their squad, everybody's gonna look like a fucking Muppet. That's how we're doing it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what it is.
I'm with that. I'm with it though. Whatever. Muppets for the future. I mean, really, the presidential elections to me, they feel more like a WWE matchup now. It's just like the old guy that versus the old guy fighting against each other.
And we're gonna see is it gonna be because what's his name, that O'Bannon dude, that white nationalist, or I don't know what his title is, but he's a racist prick. But he was on said something on 60 Minutes that he said this election time coming up to through the whole campaign is gonna be some bad times. He said he thought it was bad that the first time around. Watch how it gets on this right here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, he's pretty much saying he's got some inside scoop on that some shit's about to go down and shit's going to get ugly. Social media is going to be ugly. People are just going to be out in the streets with no smiles on their face. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to go through that.
Well, here's what I was going to ask. Why do you think it's going to be ugly? Like, do you think it's going to be actually uglier? And why do you think it's going to be uglier?
I think it's going to be fucking ugly. I think it's going to get ugly because the line's drawn in the sand and then the people on the left side understood what they did wrong the last time, and they're just going to play it at the game. They're going to play the game. Before, people were like, go high, low shit. No, I think they're going to play the game oh, you want to do social media? You want us to you want to do all that shit? Let's do it. And go back and forth with all the, the Trump trolls that always pop up. And there's both sides have them, but it's gonna get ugly where people are gonna get personal and shit, crazy shit, bro.
Yeah. Well, I just know that like you said about the lines in the sand, with this upcoming election, we have Bernie on the one hand, who is he's being described as a socialist, which some of he has socialist principles, but I don't think he's a flat out socialist. You know, but he has like socialist principles. At least if he does have these full on social qualities, the socialist qualities, I don't approve of them because, you know, I believe that we living in a world where capitalism, straight up capitalism, does not work, and you need a balance to it because what happens is all these big corporations get so big out of control that we grow into what would be a corpocracy. It's not really a democracy anymore. Where like these big businesses behind the scenes are really moving everything, and you need a way to like try and balance out that power that they have all this ungodly money that they don't even need to do all these things that they do.
Right. They're being greedy. They're monopolizing it, and monopolizing is illegal. They're finding the loopholes to do it.
Well, yeah, what they're really doing is monopolizing, but then acting like they don't because they own companies, but they're like, well, we're not going to put direct association, but we own that. We own that company. And that way it looks like you have the appearance of choice where you buy things from like this one competitor and you're like, oh, obviously because they're a different store name than this guy, but really they're owned by the same company.
Right, so business. They don't let the cat out of the bag. They just let them keep the brand. They just own the brand and they just add it to it doesn't matter. So they don't want to be like how Trump does his thing and sells his name. The big corporations really want to say we're in so much stuff and we're monopolizing, and we're not saying we won't announce it if we don't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won't even tell you.
Yeah, well, and I was saying too, on the other side we have Trump, who is, I mean, they are a authoritarian regime. I mean, through and through. That's what they are, and that's the thing. You have, and I mean, I'm not saying that they are as harshly as I'm saying the authoritarian part, because you know they're not that upfront about it, where it's like a dictatorship in the making. But you have authoritarian government versus a socialist kind of government. This is the line. This is the dichotomy they're creating, which it's not exactly that dichotomy. But the thing is, we're gonna have the people on the
a lot of big fucking words. What are you reading out of a dictionary?
Yeah, I got the Encyclopedia of Big Words, but in front of me.
Dichotomies and shit.
Well, a dichotomy is just like, well, it's a false dichotomy because they're trying to paint these two people as like it's either this or this, and that's not the case. They're really painting Bernie as like this dude who's like a socialist.
He doesn't check the lists off, or any ones that they're trying to say compare that everybody gets worked up and say, no, he's a socialist, or AOC, she's a socialist, so we're gonna attack. That's how they're building up this election, is socialism, and they're gonna scare you with it, and they're using Venezuela, something that they created, our government creates and lets happen. And they're going to use that and say you don't want it to be like that. Oh
yeah, we're gonna get into that in a minute. And then, like I said, we're gonna have some people have an episode about socialism, because I kind of want to make sure we inform people before this year's coming election. They have an idea at least, you know, so that way they can think about it.
All of the checklist that.
Oh no, he doesn't. Bernie does not fit all of the checklist for a socialist. I mean, he really doesn't. Which the thing is there's socialism. The problem is like there's just like with different governments and economies and stuff. Jared out here, AJJ says Trump 2020. He said 2020 all day.
I'm here for the jokes, like I put in that post. I'm here to watch these dudes just make fools of themselves, and we get to laugh at it.
Yeah, because really, it's just gonna be. It's gonna be such a shit show. It really is. I mean, and it's the thing. I don't think we're really gonna make any progress. I mean, I think the Democrats are gonna have a better chance this year, because they don't have too big. Like what we had was like Hillary and then Bernie, and Bernie was like the popular.
They split
He was like the popular rich, you know, he was like the new popular option, and like Hillary Clinton was like Old Faithful, and it kind of split the Democratic Party up a little bit. Yeah, like you said, and then some people tried to say, well, that wasn't the reason why they lost, but I mean, it had to be a factor. It had to be a factor.
It was, because count all the people that probably were so upset about that, and they were taught and trained to hate Hillary, and then when Bernie won, they didn't unify and say, well, we're gonna vote for her. Think about how many people that said, fuck that bitch, we ain't win. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't win. Yeah, I know, you're right. No, you're definitely right. I agree. And I'm saying that for Trump's side, if we're looking at Trump's side of the equation, it's just gonna be more of the same. But like I said, I talk about this mob mentality where like they run to the next thing, burn the witch, right? Because it was Mexicans and all that, and now and we said about it, I think last show, we're slowly seeing that all the attention's moving away from the border wall, from the what was the other thing they were worried about, like the scandals and stuff, and now they're really focusing on socialism, because they're trying to slowly lead the mob of people
to that.
to the thing that they're going to be competing against in this year's election. The idea that they want to beat.
And I think that that tactic that is going to be used, because you know me, I look at what's going on and try to pick out, if they're in there, I want to know what it is that they. If I don't agree with 96% of what they're saying, but what's the four that I do agree, and focus on that, and maybe even put my energy into saying, get the word out about that good positive thing instead of fucking doing what everybody's doing. They're attacking. I think that it's gonna just like get crazy because of that picture that they're pointing. Like you said, the mob mentality. They're changing it from that, and then people we're not even gonna hear about the wall, bro. Yeah, we're gonna hear socialism.
Right. Well, the reason why they're gonna not talk, they're just gonna throw the wall away, is because they're like, well, if we want to get the wall built, we gotta get reelected. That's why they're trying to push so hard to get it done now. They're trying to get the funding through, because that way, whoever comes in, if say like he does lose, they can be like, well, we still got to build the wall. We got to put it through. We already started building it, or they're going to build half of it and waste a bunch of money. You know what I mean? So
or just take the credit for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's why he's trying so hard to get that damn thing built. But yeah, we're going to slowly see that deteriorate. Now, JJ, if you're still there, I am curious if you would leave a comment. Let me know why you're voting Trump 2020. Let me know why you're going Trump. I am curious.
Yeah, everybody's curious. But it is what it is. I mean, everybody's stuck in their thing, just like everybody. Like, if that's your guy, like, I mean, they said they crunched up some numbers, and I guess he got 1 million. Bernie got 1 million volunteers to sign up in 6 days.
Oh yeah.
So what they're saying now, what they're going with, this is their thing to the socialist thing. This is what their campaign is going to be. Built on is it's going to say that they have the big money. They're going to point to Trump and them and be like, you guys got the big money and the corporations and all that, but we got the people. So they're going to get the people to get up and say, we're going to attack this, what we should have did 4 years ago. That's what I think is going to happen.
Darren Chesney said Trump 2020 again. Darren, why Trump 2020? I do want to know why Trump 2020. That's it. Just give me some things like that you like about him, you know? Because
give facts. Make sure they're facts. Try to give facts and know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. When are we playing football again? Well, I don't know. When are we playing football again? Darren's asking.
Probably the next time is going to be at that
in the spring. Yeah, like I said, what's his face has that summer league.
Yeah.
God, why can't I remember his name off the top of my head now? But yeah, that guy down in Hollingsburg has that summer league. So yeah, whenever you guys feel like it, we'll probably get the squad back together and we can play some football.
We can set something up. Tell them to get some players, and we'll grab some players, and we'll just go have a little game.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Tell us why you like Trump 2020. Anyway, back to the Trump conversation here. Like, now I'm thinking about the Trump campaign. I mean, do you think it's going to be more of what we saw last year, or are they going to try a more nuanced approach? Or you think it's just going to be the same mob and a pitchfork, and where they're going to say,
oh, it's going to be that same thing, bro. They're just going to find, like you said, that's their angle instead of what it was before, like crooked Hillary and, just talking crazy. Because that was a shock to everybody that was happening. Like, who's done that? Who in the past that was running a campaign did what he did? What Beaker did?
What Beaker did? Who did what Beaker did? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I mean, because every presidential candidate has had that guy. Do you know what I mean?
Right. That's a little wild and a little
Or no, tough. not wild, but they always have that candidate that's like, they have their button. That one thing they're gonna make sure they get done. They want to push it. They want to push it so hard. That's the one thing, like with Trump, I can't even really say. He just said a bunch of stuff. He's like, build a wall, planet security, and he just said things that were appealing. And that's what it was. It was charismatic. I think it was just charismatic BSing, where he would just say something like, but he would just say it with like all of his heart and believe that was the truth, even if he was wrong.
And they just get you to believe it.
Yeah, because there's something convincing about that. I mean, like if there's a guy who walks up on stage with the biggest set of nuts or the biggest set of balls in the room, even though he has no facts or evidence, right? And like said, like you're someone who you don't know anything either, and he starts screaming out something like, "Oh yeah, this, that, and the other thing."
Right.
Well, then you're gonna believe it. Well, and like I said, like me personally, like, like if I'm picking Trump versus Bernie, if I had to pick between the two, I'm picking Bernie. But like even Bernie, I don't agree with some of his stuff, because I do look at the cost and how much money it's going to take for all of these things that he
Oh
wants to
yeah,
put
it's
forward.
going to be a gradual thing, and that's why the thing that I keep saying. Remember, we talked about this before, and I always said to you, like, I don't think anything, because even when you do make a change, people that are in the exact power know for a fact that it's not going to really change in due time, because you only have so much time, and every plan has to like count on the next person being building off of that plan. You know what I mean? So the plan just gets destroyed. It's just a distraction for all. That's what I truly believe. It just really has nothing to do with what's going on in real life, to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, to me, the presidential elections anymore just feel like WWE matches where they just grab two guys. All right, hey, Jarrett Cavallette got back to us. Also, Trump, he turned this country around and has been doing a great job. And people don't like him because they don't like to be told how it is. And people don't want to admit he is doing a good job. And I guarantee it. Abraham, okay, so far you've stated, I mean, I'm just being honest with you. You stated nothing. You just said he's done a good job because I said he's doing a good job. And I think so. He tells it how it is, because I can tell you that the sky's purple, right? I can do that. But you gotta, like I can look at you and say, no, the sky isn't purple, But, well, it can be actually. It sometimes can be purple. Abraham Lincoln and the older presidents were just like how Trump is. It's annoying he's brought jobs back and has given up his great life to help this country, and people won't admit he is doing a great job. Well, me and Coach will be our Trump's biggest supporters and also Trump's biggest haters, because
we're not Trump's biggest supporters. I'm not a big supporter.
I support. Hold on. Okay, well, then I won't speak for Coach. I am Trump's biggest supporter because I want him to do good. But the thing is, for me, he doesn't do all the good that he does. I don't think he's as great as everybody likes to make him out to be. Because I've done the research, my guy. Like, if you look at it, Barack Obama and Donald Trump around the end of Barack Obama's term and Donald Trump's term, the job up percentage was literally Donald Trump created like 0.2% more jobs since he's been president. That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. I mean, that's great. Yeah, you can say that he's did that. That's cool. You can and that's fine. You can say that he's credit. Yeah, you can say that. Well, I don't think it's a credit thing. Maybe Donald Trump, I'm saying this on his own merit. Maybe Donald Trump really did create more jobs, but I'm saying like 0.2% more jobs. Like, is that something we're really talking about? And maybe we're seeing the effects, right? Because we live out in central Pennsylvania where we see because he really politicked to rural areas, Like, I remember when he came
here a couple times.
Yeah, and he brought back these factory jobs and stuff, which, again, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. It helps bring the jobs back in the rural areas, does good for them. And so, like I said, I don't hate on it. But the thing is like, I'm thinking about, well, what's going on in the areas of cities and stuff where we aren't? How is that situation looking? So, like I said, to me, if we're talking like jobs and stuff, Donald Trump I'll grant you, he may have done a step up above, but the other things that are behind him aren't the things that I like.
Yeah. It is what it is. People like you can find something wrong with anybody that steps up there. It's just like we talked about. It's just you got to find those things. If they're in there, ain't no sense on like what is the scenario to fix it so something like that doesn't happen again. If you don't agree on it, instead of focusing on playing like let's fucking just point out shit and play like little kid games. Let's get this shit right, because it doesn't matter who gets in there. Everybody that lives in this country and ain't in that 1%. And getting all the money of the world, they need somebody in there that's going to help the scenario for us common folk out here.
The common folk
to get ahead and to get and to get a lot and get the support that they know they can give to help people get somewhere in life and not just hoard everything.
Yeah, and another thing that Jarrett said, which I thought was interesting too, was that he said about. Trump gave up his great life to help this country. And I got to be honest with you. Trump, I mean, if we're looking at this from like a business standpoint, because me and Coach talk about, me and Coach talk about these kind of things, right? When you're rich like Trump, I mean, this for him is solidifying his richness and his family for a long time. Whenever you become a president, it's a legacy. It really is, because now he's going to be good for the rest of his life. He's going to have protection, stuff like that, like, forever. Until he died.
And it's not even that. There's like, if you get to that, you're going to meet a whole different type of people. Wealth. You don't have to worry about your wealth. Your generational wealth gets built. too.
Yeah, exactly. You'll
It'd
never
be
have to worry
sustainable.
about it. And like
Yeah,
you'll be meeting families, you'll have constant access to families. I mean, I'm telling you that it's not Trump when he became president, it's not that he left a great life. It was a business decision because when he
exactly.
became president, that was like
Oh, I could
amazing
take
for him
credit.
for business. I mean, you got to think about it like this: like you were a brand, right? As a person, think about this, guys. You're a brand as a person. How do you solidify your brand forever? Becoming the president of the United States. You're there. Your kids will be taught about you in school, literally, about that guy. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's what you get that right there, and you don't have to worry about anything. Like maybe before he was still uncertain, is he going to ruin what his pops built and left to him, or is it going to be taken care of? And just getting in that position right there takes care of them for generations to come.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, whenever someone says that to me about like he left his great life to be a part of this country, because let's be honest, like Trump
He's
may
living
say,
a life now, bro.
yeah, he's living the life.
Best. Like he knows but now he has access to everybody he was trying to get access to.
Right, because now he's not just seen as this businessman, because now he's a man of power at the helm of the strongest country in the world.
He's
You know?
he's getting his ego stroke. He's playing golf a lot, and he fucking, you know what I mean. He's just probably having the best time of his life, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
Playing
said,
president.
honestly.
Beaker's playing president because that's all of them. And I like to joke and I joke about this shit, but that's all of them. They're all doing the same thing. They're changing things for you to focus on to get done what they need to get done.
Because
So,
the presidents, my philosophy is the presidents or the candidates that are coming out to really help the people, they don't make it to the ballot. They don't
they
last.
don't want that.
They either don't make it to the ballot, or if they do make it into office, they might end up dead. So or wherever. So
Oh, no conspiracies, bro. YouTube's getting onto us.
YouTube's onto us. Well, I didn't advocate a conspiracy. I just said that that's what I think. I didn't say I didn't say like here's the evidence. Here's the
I know
evidence.
nothing. I don't know what Devin's talking about.
Coach's out here disassociation. He's like,
Yeah, I don't
man,
know.
I'm not with it. I don't know who you're talking about. Who's
Well, that
Devin?
would be my answer if anybody asked, no matter what it was. I'd be like, I don't know. And I could probably know, but I just like if I don't why would I tell you what his business is?
Yeah, right. Why don't you go hit him up? Why don't you go talk to him? Why don't you go hit him up for a minute?
If you want to know, if he wanted you to know, you'd have conversation with him and get the answers.
Right. And like I said, so talking
It's
about
gonna
Trump
get
versus
ugly.
Bernie, it's going to be ugly. I can just see people are going to be. I mean, we're going to have we're probably going to have riots. I hear we're going to have riots. Especially at the end of the election, probably going to have riots. We're going to have people acting like dumb children. Whoever gets in, we're going to have people acting like dumb children, and I can see it either way. Either way.
Yeah, it's gonna pop off anyway. Just you gotta try to keep. Me personally, I stay out of it. I'll laugh at that shit, but I'm not gonna let it affect my life. But you're gonna notice it outside. In the
Oh
street
yeah,
like you
you're
did
gonna.
before.
Well, what
Like
did you say when it happened? Remember you talked about moving down here and like you noticed what happened after Trump got elected? Like people were just acting different.
Oh yeah, people were acting crazy, like the hello, But that's one thing I say around, like everything changed from when that happened because they were like, oh, what I was thinking that whole time and wanted to say, they got that false belief of permission that they could say certain things, and get away with it, and it just wasn't going for that, and they seen that, so they had to, oh, we can't do that. But that's how empowering those things are, is it makes people think that they can do things and say things to people, but people ain't going for this shit. This shit ain't the 60s and shit like that where you could just get out of pocket. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Well, you can't just because someone's in office that you support or supports your ideals doesn't mean, well, now that guy's in power, I can do whatever I want, or I could do, you still got to, no matter what, we always live in a society, you got to respect people's space and ideals, or else, you're liable to get slapped. It's just like what we always talk about, like freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want, but I mean, that doesn't mean that
consequences.
Yeah, there's consequences to what you say,
Right.
and like, and yeah.
And I just think like if people like look past all that shit and say, what is the goal? Like I listened to an interview, I forgot who it was though, but it was a good interview, and he was just talking about, because he was saying what we're saying right now is like, forget all that. If we still got to sit here and we're looking at each other and trying to get an answer for things to be fixed, but we're so divided amongst each other. Like, what is the you're gonna have to work with people to get it fixed. You can't just win something and say this is how it is, you know, all that bullshit. You got to work together to get it right for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the really sad thing that I was gonna say about it is like that I'm not looking forward to this election, you know,
No,
because I'm
not at
like
all.
literally it's just gonna be stressful. I would because here's the thing if elections weren't all this damn mudslinging, do you know what I mean? And they were objective, where like they were talking about facts and like saying things like this is what I think, like they're actually talking about this is what I think will stop the issue without just saying like simple statements where they go build a wall and they're like yeah that's it that'll do it, you know, without thinking about all the other stuff. I mean they eventually do, but that's after the guy gets elected. Or like, you know, Hillary Clinton comes out and says you know, something about healthcare or whatever, everybody's like yeah free healthcare, because that's what people were. There are people that are simple-minded on Bernie's side, are like yeah free healthcare, but they don't
Oh
understand what
yeah,
it costs. And it's like
yeah,
it's not free, you dummy, it's not. And that's
right.
something you got to understand, which to me, I mean, my personal beliefs, I'm cool with paying an extra tax money if it means that people are going to be able to go to the doctor, you know, and not have to worry about dying, or, not, or if they're going to be able to afford medication. At
And
the
you would
same
have to
time,
adjust a lot of things,
yeah, right. Oh, you would
like
definitely.
pay. You have to just pay for people. Like, just think about it. In the state like we're in is only 725 or 735, or is it 725?
725 is minimum wage.
725 an hour minimum wage. Think about that. Even though jobs are meant, but most people are disenfranchised that
Mm-hmm.
are out that you run across. That means that they're not where they're supposed to be, or they have some kind of mistake that they made that turned their life, and then they have to do certain things to get back into the race. So they would have to go back to a minimum, like if you got out of jail or something,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you were on drugs and trying to get your life together, stuff like that. And you're gonna end up with those type of issues every time you have to go out there, where you have to take a job to build up to get somewhere. So, but what is 725 gonna do for somebody, bro? Think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but at the same time, like this is what I was thinking about, because this is the truth, and you know, like a lot of people, if they're still the Trump supporters, they're going to agree with me. Raising minimum wage is not going to fix that, because the minute
No,
you raise minimum wage or whatever,
taxes and all that will go up.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we're not just taxes. I mean, you raise minimum wage, it's just gonna
price of
everything
product.
else
Yeah,
is just gonna go up, because that's how it's gonna work. Because
yeah,
the
but
thing
what
about a
they're
monetary,
saying is it's like a shock to this. It'll be a shock to the system, because they could put the minimum wage, but all that stuff that they're saying isn't going to catch up for a while. So it's more like what he do, Obama did when he gave out the 650 or whatever it was to boost the economy. That's a way you would boost the economy,
okay,
because
okay,
the businesses wouldn't be able to catch up on time and all that, where it would actually balance out for a while.
so you're saying that raising minimum wage would then put a shock through the system, but I'm asking you, like, you really don't think that as soon as you change the rate that workers are paid, right?
Uh,
And you change all of that, that's not going to immediately, I mean immediately put like pressures on businesses, because they're going to lose money. All the businesses are going to lose money because they have to pay their employees more.
Yeah, they'll have to. They'll develop a plan. They're probably developing a plan to just. But what are we saying, that they automatically do that? Isn't there like you can set your? I guess if you own your own business, you can set your own price and stuff like that. It would hurt the people. Yeah, it would hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Everything's
Well,
gonna.
no, it would
It's no
hurt
quick
it.
fix to anything.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying is, yeah, well, there's people that think that that is a quick fix, but I'm saying like,
No, it's not.
you could boost the minimum wage up, and yeah, in theory, what you're
Cost of
saying,
living in that area.
in theory, what you're saying could work if like you said, all right, for a whole month, everybody's minimum wage is going up. Like if you
For
get paid
like
minimum
6
wage,
months. You can't change anything to your business. You got to survive. But think about it. Like, that's what they're saying to people any other way.
but the thing is though is like we said about whenever you give people like free money or extra money or whatever, the people that are, you know, they're not good with that, because they're like, oh, I got extra money now for like 6 months, right? They're gonna be like, well, what am I gonna do with this? And they're gonna end up right back where they are, or there's gonna be some of them that are gonna come up. Which I'm not saying that all of them are gonna go back, but I'm gonna say a good majority of those people, even though you boosted
It'll work.
their
Yeah.
rates, they're gonna go right back into where they were. And most people are in debt too. So what? You're boosting their rates just for them to try and pay off debt that they might not be able to even get off in the first place. It's like it's a mess to me, because I don't think it gets anybody any closer to getting out of that. And that's why I was thinking about when I think about the fix to fix all this, right? The economy in this is to get like a free education system, post education system, because then jobs, right? You have access to information, so that way you can better yourself. It doesn't cost you anything. You can learn valuable skills, right? I mean, it does cost people stuff and tax dollars, but that mean with those tax dollars though, that gives everybody the ability to better themselves and learn valuable skills to get to higher paying jobs. Because right now, that's the level. That's the barrier that's holding people back from like those skill position jobs. They don't have they can't get the experience and they can't get the education for it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's part of it, but they're just going to do this. No matter what one you throw out there, they're going to balance it all out so it doesn't cost that people that make money off of whatever scenario it is, that it's going to cost them major. It's going to be the same thing. You say raising the wages, that's going to be more targeted to small businesses. That small businesses probably won't be able to survive. And if it's, like it's something that they can't adjust to or whatever like that, it's going to cause problems. But anything you throw out there with colleges, I would have to think there's a lot of colleges in this.
Yeah, and I'm telling
education is a business.
Yeah, it is a business. You're right. And I was going to say that like a lot of these smaller colleges will probably die off.
And a lot of them will still get the balance and figure out how they get money and then still turn around and be on the taxpayers.
Like I said, because again, this is kind of like the conversation me and I was on Melvin's podcast last night. He's not here anymore, but I was on Worldwide Walls, the Wake Up Podcast. Go check them out, guys. They're on Stitcher and everywhere else, Spotify, iTunes, the Wake Up Podcast. But I was on their show the other night and we were just talking about, it's like this, we were talking about transgenders and they're making accommodations for them in prison. It's one of those things like, well, no matter what decision you make, there's going to be serious repercussions.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone
casualties of war going to be more. Is it going to be like? Is it going to be higher for the good or worse for the bad?
Yeah, and this is the last thing I want to say about the whole Trump versus Bernie thing. It's one of those things where like, are the repercussions of the change going to inevitably lead to good, or are they going to lead to regret? That's what I'm saying. Like more good than, because that's what it always is, because there's always going to be negatives to whatever you do in politics and like society, because there's going to be people that don't like it or they're not benefiting from it, which I get it. But at the same time, it's like, does the good it does it outweigh the bad? And I think that's how you should look at this coming election. You should say, which one of these candidates is going to do this thing that maybe I'm not in agreement with, but eventually, or it's going to do more good than it does bad.
Yeah, you got to definitely think about that stuff, because I think the labels don't really mean anything. It's just a different way of screwing the system over. But another thing, like what I've learned, though, I'll say this is my final joint on the Trump thing, is I see what he's already started doing it. Just like he tweeted last night at the Oscars about Spike Lee gave a speech and he said, if we want to change things, we got to work together to change what's going on. One of those type speeches, being him, like he always been him. And then he didn't say his name, but what he was talking about. So dude, 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess it got to him and he's tweeting out, Spike Lee is racist towards me.
Oh, my
stuff
goodness.
like that, stupid shit. Like, cause he won an Oscar last night. Spike Lee won his first Oscar, and he should have been in there in the talkings a long time. He's made some great movies for America, period.
Oh yeah, right. Spike Lee's renowned, so yeah.
Right. So he was like the little kid shit, and then that's what you see the next day. You see all the negativity out of that bullshit, what people are saying, and then you can see that that's where it's going. It's just going to be worse. I'm telling you.
It's good. Well, it's going to be worse for sure. So hopefully. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we survive. That's what we say. Hopefully we survive.
Oh,
we'll make it.
Too, that I like that's good though too is like if you're thinking about the tariff things, it's affecting some people now. But like I said, nothing can change over. There's no quick fix, so it has to happen for a period of time. But like they're turning, instead of going to China right now, they're going to Vietnam. And Vietnam's becoming an attraction for American businesses to go down there and manufacture. So they're finding another place to get it done, and I think they're saying that some things were a little cheaper than actually doing it in China, and it could be mass produced, and then that's what they're looking at. So
either way, it's not here. That's
true.
What I'm saying.
Some things are true. You don't want to depend, and plus, don't they own our debt? We owe them.
Yeah.
So why would we want these guys to have us by the balls all the time?
Yeah.
I
Well,
believe in that.
we everybody owes everybody money. I mean, like I said, all these like we talk about debt and stuff, but like all countries are in debt somehow, some way. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? To
They're
something,
not.
to
They're in the red.
somebody.
They're not black.
Yeah, that's why, like, you know, that was like a thing one of my my teachers said in high school. He's like, yeah, we're all in debt somewhere, you know, like just go to college. That's why he told me to go to school. He's like, because everybody's in debt. And I was like, well, if I don't have to be, I don't wanna. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head when he said it. I'm like, well, if I don't want to be, I'm like, I know everybody's doing it, but like that's like drugs. That's like drugs. Whenever back when they say like, I know everybody's doing it, but don't be that guy or something. It's like, well,
Yeah,
you know,
it's better to try to save you. I mean, there's people that don't have debt. I know people. I know somebody that they're a fucking freak about that shit. It's not a lot of people.
No. I agree with you. Yeah, but I'm saying like that. Like he's like, well, just about everybody's in debt, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
well, but if I don't want to be, I'm not going. I'm not gonna be in debt. Like if I'm gonna try and avoid that, you know.
I don't want to start my life out like going in like by the time I'm done working my ass off and end up with a piece of paper that's going to get me a decent job. I don't know about right now, but it'll eventually get you in your place. It'll open some doors for you to get to what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Do you going to really like it anyway, too?
Yeah. All right. This is heavy, man. It was a heavy conversation.
Yeah, it is what it is. People want to know what's gonna go. I'm letting motherfuckers know. If you're watching this on this thing, I'm on the side of I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the jokes because I don't believe in that shit anyway.
He's here for the memes, the memes.
The memes.
He's not here for Trump and Bernie. He's here for Beaker and Waldorf. That's who he's here for.
Beaker and Waldorf. Hell yeah, make fun of them motherfuckers. Make great memes. And just don't come around me with all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to hear all that negative shit from either side. You know what I mean? Because that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. We're going for good vibes this year. Good vibes.
Yeah, good vibes. Good vibes.
Good vibrations. Speaking of vibrations, I wasn't feeling that Bad Baby song that was just put out. I wasn't.
To me, it ain't the music. I don't even look at the music. I think she's a lot the way she's being marketed.
Right, no, and like I said, like I believe it, but like man, even when I watched the video, because how you made it sounded so much cooler, right? The song was called Bestie, and the song was just so annoying. Like it was like in your face. It is.
She's doing the formula.
Yeah,
she's doing the formula for a hit. Add a hot rapper, get the same beat that they got in the book. It's a formula.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like to me, it wasn't hot. It was just it felt annoying. And then like the product, like I said, the product placement thing, I would have thought it was cool if like she was like, nah, like the product placement. She like threw her phone like at the camera breaks and it breaks to something. Because then it would show like, man, she's like, I don't want to do this product placement, but my marketing people were like, I got to do this product placement. That would have been a good joke, right? But she was like, nah. Product placement. She kind of like walks away and then it cuts.
That's what they told her marketing. To do. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna nitpick out. You're nitpicking from a fucking like you wanted to edit the shit. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like
well, I'm saying the music. I'm talking about the music.
It was an excellent fucking. I don't care about none of that shit. What I seen was like she's being backed by a powerful and a well-known rich company that is putting her in positions to just crush it.
Yeah. Well, which is, hey, to me, it makes me feel like I don't want to be on her train no more because like I hear that annoying stuff and then I see the like I mean it was too in my face. I get it. She's gotten off of her controversy, but like you know she's gotten famous off controversy and that's the thing I respect. But man, I didn't like how like in your face it was like the song, everything about it. I just didn't like it. And I was like, it's like even the product placement.
Of shit, but I guarantee you, she's not aiming for Dev.
Yeah, right. Well, no,
Dev
she's aiming because when I listen to that song, I would just listen to it. It's just that song to me is like it's like a girl's song. It's for the chicks that are like, yeah, I'm with my bestie, and I'm gonna slap you if you mess with my girl, like you know, and like it's. Yeah, it's just dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's not for you, bro. It's not for you.
Yeah, it's definitely not for me.
You would be in that club and that shit's pounding and everybody's reacting.
All the girls like, oh my god, let's go
You'd
drink.
Be like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here.
Like all the girls walk. Yeah, all the girls like get up like, oh my god, this is our song because we're besties. And like they go out and like they have their drink in their hand and they go dance and you're like. Oh, how like the song's bad and annoying.
He don't like shit. He's lame.
Yeah, you know, but I'm telling you what, I bet you that song would sound pretty good to me after a couple of drinks.
Yeah, a couple drinks and
I'd
shit.
be like, oh, this song's cool, man. Like the guy who like shows you his record or his mixtape like while you're out drinking at a party. Bro, listen to my mixtape real quick. Like, all right, let me listen. Yo, man, this is really fire. Like, it's actually fire. And then next day you hear it, you're like, oh God, it's garbage. What is
Well,
this?
anything you listen to, it'll be so like what they do is they want to make household jingles.
Mm.
Those are household jingles, like not for the people in your like your older people. It's for the kids that walk around and now they get to point them in the direction on what brands the it's
Mm.
it's
It was
building
definitely a
something out.
promotion song. Every
Yeah,
bar that she spit in that song, besides the bestie parts, were like, buy this, buy that, Louis Vuittons,
yeah.
fucking
That's
Sephora.
everybody. That's
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, which is
Everybody's like that's how the music business is. And so you're walking around just saying that shit, even if you don't, if you hear it, like you hear something that has that catchy, and it's like I said, a formula.
yeah.
There, and you only get to that formula is if
If you're
represented
marketable.
by the right people, and that you know what I mean. You get the record spin, you get placed in product things proper, so people will hear it like that.
Well,
And
yeah,
that's you got to be powerful to get in
I
that
was
shit.
saying you got to be a shell. You got to be marketable. Like you're
Yeah,
just like, hey, we're projecting onto you whatever. Like you're just a vessel for us to pump marketing out. Like people are gonna attach to you. Like that's it. And
and there's nothing wrong with that because basically you're
she's
just being as long as you're being able to say yes and no to shit, and then you're not like it's you're being protected and you're taking care of business. You're turning yourself into a human what are those
billboard.
billboard a billboard basically. You're basically selling billboard space through what it is that you present. You know what I'm saying? How you present it, and they just like. But I can imagine she's young, so she's probably not making too many decisions. Like she's just
Yeah.
on her. Like
Yeah,
yes, okay,
right now she's on the billboard phase. So like I'm hoping later in her career that she because with all that money she like doesn't just stay a billboard and like comes up with like music and stuff. And like I said I like repetitive like catchy songs sometimes. But like that one like it just felt annoying. Like it felt annoying. Like
yeah. There's a
it didn't
lot.
feel like one of those repetitive catchy songs where like you catch yourself going like it was like ugh they just felt I don't know. Felt
All right,
forced.
well, enough with her music reviews and shit. I'm just gonna keep updating her because I'm telling you suckers that she's gonna come with some bags. She's getting some bags. I just want to see
Why
how
haven't
she's
we?
doing it.
Why didn't we buy? Wait, we didn't figure out who's backing her and what business is backing her. That way we can buy stock in that. That's what we need to buy stock
Well,
in.
you just seen it. She's into Fashion Nova, and she's into the one
Fashion Nova,
and
what
the makeup brand.
I
That
can't
we
think of what
reported.
the hell that makeup brand's
And she
called.
didn't even have Fashion Nova when we first reported. So that was the report I was getting at. She's got Fashion Nova now, so she's just building this. She's going to be one of those influencers. Like she's not gonna. Music is not gonna be her thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the market that they're getting. By the time she gets to a certain age, she's gonna go into something totally different. That's gonna be like a brand, a huge brand. So
Yeah.
I just like showing people like when people like they and to see other so much disgusted hate that they're like how they make this chick famous or anything. No matter what we say, that there's smart people around her from day one, whether it's her mom or her uncle or something that ain't stupid because they just set it all together. But I think it's kind of wrong that they're using their daughter at that age to say the shit that she's saying and portray that out there to other kids. Yeah, it's kind of bad, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, it's not the betrayal stuff. Like I don't care about the betrayal stuff. I just saying like if you're gonna make a marketing song and stuff, like like make a good marketing song. Like I mean, it's not good. I mean, I don't think any good marketing
Okay,
songs.
but
I'm just saying that's my
what's
opinion. If
your
you're making a marketing
marketing
song,
song?
because I'll listen to
What's
a
your
marketing song. Huh?
What's your marketing song? How's come we haven't come with a marketing song
That's right. Well, let's come up with a marketing
what's
song.
a good one?
Well, hold on. Well, no. For a good first off, marketing song comes with somebody's paying us to make a song, and all we have to do is drop a couple bars about, Louis Vuittons, Gucci, or whatever. Of course, we wouldn't support Gucci, but like those people have to come to us and be like, yeah, support our thing, and we're like, okay. I think that's the first step because you can't make a marketing because if you're marketing for a brand and they're not paying you, well then it's not a marketing song because it's more like a free marketing song. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, What would be the marketing song for what you're selling, bro? You're selling something right now. Mediated media. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, we got to get with my writing team. You know, we gotta sit down. We gotta do a little preview.
You gotta get it popping, man.
Yeah.
You gotta put out some free mixtapes. What's wrong?
Free
Not on that
mixtapes.
shit, man.
Hey,
You gotta
exactly.
get
And then I gotta do like a little thing where like I hold up a product that no one that I actually don't just for the sake of it, I have to hold up a product that I don't actually support. Like I'll hold up like, yeah, Fashion Nova supports me, and they'll be like, Devin, that's like chicks clothes. I'm like, shut up, all right? Like, listen.
Is Fashion Nova all chicks?
I feel like it is.
Dudes line too.
Nah, they probably do. Most fashion people or brands, they usually have like both sexes, but I feel like they're more chick oriented because every time I see ads on like Instagram for them, it's always like some girl with like the nicest ass you've ever seen. Like
that's the spending people. Like females spend the most in this country. They're the shopping. They're the ones that target. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I just thought I seen it sometime. Like somebody said that there was a men department or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But either way, it's just the brand that they're gonna keep popping off and shit like that. She's out there getting pimped. I'm sorry to say it. She's getting pimped, and I just hope, like we talked about, she doesn't go left. But wherever she ends up at, she's gonna have a shitload of money and a huge brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. And like I said, I just hope that she like it's like a it's like a J. Cole thing where like I saw he just put out a video today, already has like 250,000 views and stuff.
Oh yeah, Cole worked for that. Well, it never hurt that you had somebody if you got handpicked by Jay. You were straight. You didn't have no stress on you. He probably just picked them up, said, "Here's the deal. It's a fair deal for right now. Show us what you can do, and we'll always take care of you. And you don't have to worry about nothing from now on, but making good music. No rent. No."
That is true. That's the difference, I think. Yeah, because she's like, "Well, I got to get this money in marketing and blah blah blah." Like, I have to get it because like I don't have somebody like that. I have to form a following behind me, and she got some people behind her.
And she did it. Yeah, and he doesn't really have to do anything. He doesn't he would be somebody that wouldn't have to campaign for president because he doesn't roll out his music. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't. He said he's going to start doing it now because he's building a team. Like speaking of J. Cole. That's where the conversation went, but just explain what he really does. The reason why he's been out so much and been interacting as much is because he's launching a record company and he has his groups coming up. So he's getting taught by Jay how Jay did it. Like, this is how you got to do it. You got to be involved with this. You got to be on tracks. You got to be out promoting and getting them off the ground if you want to build an empire.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's the difference. But I want to end the show here talking about, I got a job interview for a new place. I won't disclose any information, but I got a drug test coming up, and it's an oral drug test, and I didn't know that thing ever existed. Like, they swab your mouth and your saliva rather than, because the only test I've ever taken is a piss test where you pee in a cup, which is fine by me. I hate piss tests because I don't know why. It's like every time I have to take one, I can't go. And I have to like sit around for like an hour until I can finally pee. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's me too. But when you got the boys on your back, the reason why you don't know about that stuff because you've never been in trouble. You never had to go to a PO. You probably only had to piss for like high school sports or at the doctors or some shit. Motherfuckers be having to piss, so they'll take your hair nowadays and be able to tell when the last time you smoked weed, like years ago.
Yeah, the hair. Well, I was watching a video because I was interested, like, because like whenever the guy said that to me, I got off the phone. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, what do I need to do this test tomorrow? Like, is there anything I need to know specifically? Because like, when someone says you got to do a piss test, it's like, oh yeah, you need to pee, but like usually I got to drink water or something the night before, so that way like when I get up, I feel like going.
Stage fright, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. But also, I passed a lot of fucking tests. Like back in the day, you were able to like I live my truth. It's all out there in the thing. I don't care, man. This is how I lived my life when I was younger.
Let's hear it.
I had to get a job, and I needed clean piss. I went straight to my son's Head Start, like pissing this cup. This is when I was wild out running, doing crazy shit. And I was able, whether it was a job or faking a piss test in front of a PO, because if you're cool, a PO, they're not going to be all on your shit. They don't want nothing. They're going to be back just talking and asking you questions, and you can pass the piss test. Back in the day, I don't know how it is now. I could imagine because they're plucking hairs out of people and shit. It's crazy. So it's wild.
But the hair fall. So here's what I learned, because like I was learning about each test. So an oral test, right, is like they can only see at most 2 days. So like 2 days prior. So say like you smoked weed like 2 days or 3 days before your drug test, and they swabbed you, right?
Mm-hmm.
They probably wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, it's possible they could, but they might not be able to, and because
Right.
it's a short term test, and then the piss test goes back about a week, and the hair follicle goes back 3 months. You know, so I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, though, like I don't know if like an oral test is like if you're trying to get people hired, you're just like, man, you know what? You're like, let's not even go back a week. Let's just give them 3 days to get clean and then do this do the test. I mean, he called me today, so like I mean, I got to do the test tomorrow. So I mean, if I'm not, I mean, I'm going to pass the test, but
I think it would be something you wouldn't really understand because it's nothing on your radar. Because it'd be like potheads and stuff like that wouldn't, it seems surprising to you and you don't know it, but I guarantee you a lot of people know that system
yeah,
very well
well, they use it. Well, this is what I learned is they use the oral tests a lot for like
because
determining.
they don't want to cancel you out because you smoked some bud or something. They
Yeah,
just want to know, were you competent and capable enough to stay clean for this long where it's not popping coke comes out
every
often.
day. Yeah, like every day or
Yeah,
something.
they just want to know that.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was gonna say is that where actually I think it's more handy to do an oral drug test is
Did you
whenever
say Andy? Oh, that was a good
handy
mistake.
Robert Kraft
Last
TM
name.
Robert Kraft.
Yeah, but go ahead.
But I think where it comes more into practice because I can't say the word handy without Robert Kraft like bringing his
Robert
hand through my
Handy Kraft.
computer and jerking himself off. Um, it's more handy is like whenever like say like you're in a job and there's like a suspicion of drug use like say like there's a suspicion like that maybe you're under the influence of something, there's an accident or whatever, they can bring you in right afterward or during the accident, like let me swab you quick.
So, are we saying this too about nicotine? When you go for life insurance, they can only go back 3 months with your hair follicle.
Yeah, your hair follicle test. Yeah, they like I said, that's the average. They could probably go back further, but I don't think it's as far back as most people think. It's only around probably like 3 to 4 months.
Because something in my head is saying that motherfuckers could say like somebody said a big number that I thought was outrageous
Yeah,
when they
because
said it, but
when you think about it, though, it really does make sense. I mean, like because your hair's growing and the follicles and that like the base of them, where they're talking about the follicles, that stuff grows out probably in that amount of time. So they can check the chemical composition there. Takes longer, but like your saliva, I mean, think about it. Like your spit's renewing all the time. So like you can only really get the residue of what might be left from drug use in your mouth and stuff from probably about 3 days ago because that stuff dissolves and it's
I'm sure there's something. If that's the case, I'm sure that like when there's always something that obstacle in the way, people find a way around it. You know what I'm saying? So they could, if me thinking about what you're saying right now, how it's working and how long it only take, that there's got to be something you can just drink.
There's definitely a workaround. I mean, you could probably, it's probably like it'd probably be something as simple as like you get Listerine and swash around like 3 times a day or something before you
then
the
like
thing.
take a shot of vinegar or some shit, some weird shit.
Yeah, stuff that's gonna break down whatever's in your mouth, whatever residue's left, because the saliva, unless they're going the whole way back in your throat, which if they do that, I'm gonna be upset because I hate whenever you have a sore throat and they do the cotton test, you know what I'm talking about? Hate that. I hated that at the doctors. I'd rather get a shot than get the swab in the back of my throat. I hate it.
Just be like, motherfucker, take this piss and I'm out, man. I don't want you shoving shit in my mouth. I don't want you taking my DNA and saving it. And
cloning some Gingerlicious.
Yeah, you fucking cloning Kidder Carney and
Kidder Carney.
Shit. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people I don't think like what they're saying, like something like I said. I don't think they want to control people like when you have those short tests, I guess, for those 3 days or whatever. They're saying we don't want to spend money on a huge test, and we don't want to know too. Like I don't. If he came here and he was presentable and he crushed the interview, I don't want to know past if he wasn't hired right now. Like if he wasn't in the fucking parking lot smoking meth and then came in here and tried to get a job, that would be a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, right? But like, hey man, if he's coming in, he crushed the interview, he didn't seem like he was all drugged up, or didn't seem like she was all drugged up, then yeah, come on in.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what it is. And speaking of jobs, they're saying they're gonna come down on Duke, bro, on fucking like the NFL, but we know that's not true. But I still want to know why Robert Handy Kraft. So when we spoke about this the other day, I have to recorrect myself because I was saying these guys are billionaires. There was a couple billionaires involved in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but he and I was saying during that thing, like, no, there's no billionaires going to the downtown jerk off joint, and that's where they went, bro. This joint is like it's being suspected for child labor, that sex trafficking, having younger stuff like that, and that's where a spot that they were at, billionaires. So they deserve everything that they get.
Yeah. No, I agree. They do.
And it was supposed to be the day of the AFC Championship game is when he was down there fucking at the jerk joint.
So wait, he was down there the day of the AFC Championship game?
The day of that. So he had probably caught a flight or something, or he probably caught a flight. Yeah, he had to do something because he was in Florida in the game. Where was the AFC Championship?
The AFC Championship game. It was in Foxborough because the New England had the #1 seed.
So and it was what at like 6. That was the last game, like 6:30.
Yeah, it was it was later. Yeah, it was like 6:30. No, it's 6:30.
He could have caught a flight from that morning up to fucking Foxborough, like, oh, we got a game after, he got one off and shit. That's what it sounds like.
That's just crazy to me, like how far he would fly to get a hand job.
I'm sure there was some kind of
that has to be the most. I mean, I'm sorry if you're Robert Kraft. I mean, there has and you really need a hand job. There has, and like I said, I'm not advocating for sex trafficking, prostitution, or any of that, but I'm saying, like, I'm thinking about it like this. There's got to be a cheaper alternative.
I don't know.
There's got to be I'm just saying, there's got to be a cheaper alternative than just like, fly the whole way to Florida, pay probably the thousands of dollars and basically worth of hush money to get it done, and then fly the whole way back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he did. I mean, I got the statement on how they caught what they got on him, bro. Check this out. I'm gonna read it real quick and then we'll get it. I know we got to run.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
So, so it says on Sunday, January 20th, 2019. Ain't got no time though. It says video surveillance was conducted at the Target business, which saying they were targeting whatever the name of the spot was at approximately 10:59 hours, whatever that is. That's military. I don't know exactly what time that is. Kraft entered the business through the front door where he paid cash at the front desk to an Asian female previously identified as redacted one, which means they ain't telling you shit about her name. Mm-hmm. Redacted. And they just took out the name, which was captured at JPPD Cam and redacted, escorted Kraft to a room identified as JPPD Cam 2. There's the two hugged each other and Kraft took off all of his clothes, laid face up on a massage table, racked it, hugged him again, and then approximately 1:02 began manipulating. Manipulating his penis and shit like this.
Manipulating his penis.
He was. That's why we call that's handy. He was getting his joint on.
Yeah, I just think this is what I mean by like. Sometimes I hate the English language for like how how huge the words are sometimes because they're just like manipulate his penis. I mean, I know they have to say it in terms though it doesn't. But like when I think of manipulate, it's like she took control of it. She's controlling his penis. Like that's when I think of the word manipulate. She's like yeah. So she started controlling his penis like a game controller or something.
Started telling it, and that's basically what's happening though. You get manipulated to fucking do what your penis wants to do now. So that's pretty much what it said.
So it's more like she got manipulated by Robert Kraft into touching a penis.
Yeah, because who would want? No, she got paid. He got manipulated again because he had to pay for it.
Oh.
So there's the only victim is that girl's like underage and it's some trespassing. If she's being forced to be there, she's probably not. She's probably one of the main things if she was doing the billionaire and you know what I mean, doing her job. Yeah. She manipulated his ass.
Like I said, I don't know all the details of the place, so I'm not going to make any claims. But I'm just saying, like, either way, when I look at it, I'm just like, yo, that's yo.
Well, why you gotta pay for it? But it says, she sucked. It looks like it says she sucked him off then too, hugged him, gave her.
Wait. Hold on, pause.
Bill.
Did it say sucked him off?
No, come on, man. You know I'm paraphrasing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Other shit sounds weird as shit, yo. And then it bounced out. He gave her $100 bill, or at least one other unidentifiable bill. So they had cameras set up in there. They got all this on camera, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't do it. Wasn't me."
Well, that's it, bro. That's a wrap for Robert. You know, I'm saying that's a wrap.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go away.
Which
It's gonna hurt the NFL and New
But
England brand.
hey, one last thing before we get out of here. You gotta think about it though. That makes me think about the whole Tom Brady kissing, and like like that makes me feel weird. Just makes me feel weird now, like really weird. You know?
Why?
I don't know, man. Because like it makes me feel like there's more like weird sexual stuff going on than that. Because he's the type of guy that would fly the whole. Okay, just hear me out. He's the guy who would fly the whole way to Florida for some for some head and for some handies, right? Well, what's to say what happened on short term when he couldn't and Tom Brady was over in the other room?
Oh my God, man. That's what you probably want to see and shit after the Super Bowl. Like what happened
Oh my God, yo. I don't want to see it, but I'm saying like if that's the kind of guy he is, I'm saying that
Dozier Hollow.
yeah, he Dozier Hollow. He called up Dozier Hollow. Yeah, who knows, bro? Maybe that's like Robert Kraft's like porn name and we don't know it. You know, maybe he's been featured.
Let's see what his is like. This, like I said, there was a lot of people in there. It's gonna come out some weird shit because you gotta look at it like this. This dude is, been powerful for long years, and there's a whole twist to it. So why something like that gets pushed under the rug, bro? He has the money to make that go away, and they obviously told him no for whatever reason. Why? You know what I mean? So it's crazy. He just got caught. It's normal stuff that they do. He's been doing it, and whatever reason they allow him to get caught up in this shit this time.
Yeah, so it is crazy.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. What it ain't. What it be like sometimes. Alrighty, guys, bridging the gap. I'm so glad everybody joined out here and come talk to us today. All of our Trump supporters, we salute you. Maybe we're not all not us not speaking on my behalf. I'm glad I don't. He doesn't salute you, but I'm glad you came out at least and stated your opinion. So shout out to you. Shout out to Melvin. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. You guys can check us out on our YouTube, Mediated Media. Go ahead and subscribe there. Click the little bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Check us out at Bridging the Gap. We're cool there. We share little posts. We had a motivational Monday this morning. It was motivational, and work. And yes, like I said, check us out. Keep updated. Like I said, if you're someone who comes in late, didn't catch the live stream, hey, leave a comment. We read them. We read them all the time. So as always, stay beautiful. Take care of yourselves. Bridging the Gap. We out. See ya.